Hello ladies, welcome to my channel. I'm Isabel, and in today's video we're going to talk about modern dating. Now this topic has been something that is all over these YouTube streets, and I just wanted to give my opinion on it and just my experience in it, and just to help you ladies who are trying to navigate the dating world and really want to get the result of marriage but haven't been able to get that. And I want to give you a couple of reasons why this may be happening, and just let you guys also know my own experience and how I combated this issue I'm seeing women have more often than not in the dating market. So to make this easier for you to digest, I'm just going to give you my own experience and let you know what revelation I had when I was dating that caused me to actually find my partner and be in the relationship that I'm in now. I'm a fiance, soon to be married, and I was not in the same mindset I was before I got to this point. And once I changed this one thing, everything began to change in the dating department for me. So if you had seen my previous video of how I got engaged in less than a year, then go check that out, because I do speak about it there in more detail. But I'm just going to give you an idea in this video so you can really get an idea and see if it applies to you as well. So when I was dating in my 20s, I was very much interested in dating, the most accomplished guy, the most prestigious guy, the wealthy, the affluent. Like, I just wanted to be with a guy just based on his money, his income, his wealth. And my logic behind this was because I had just moved to a new city. I moved to Los Angeles from Boston, and I wanted to have a great experience while living here. I didn't want to date below or at the same means as mine, because I just didn't see any value in that if I was in a new city and I can practically make my life whatever it could be. And I decided that I wanted to experience a high life, a high, vibrational, just great experiences, like just living the life that I always dreamed of having when I was a child. And I knew that if I dated men who were in that way of life, then I would be in that way of life. And that's just how I thought. So I was really just thinking about that while I was dating, and that was great. I met some great guys. I was in relationships with these guys, but I never really took anybody so seriously. I never dated for marriage. I wasn't looking for that. I was looking, like I said, to just experience a high value life. I didn't care so much about marriage. Like, I was one of those people who would say, yes, I want to get married, I want to have a family, I want to do all this, but nothing in my life supported that. My life supported, going out, spending money, like having a good time, partying, traveling, like shopping. That was what my life looked like. And it wasn't until my 30th birthday where I went to Tulum. I went on a trip, me and my sister, that was financed by this guy that I was in a relationship with for a couple of years. And he couldn't make the trip like normal. He usually couldn't make any trips. He would just send me to wherever I went. And I was okay with that because I just wanted the experience. I mean, he could be there or not be there. It didn't matter. I just wanted to go out. And it was like just not something that I cared about, because it wasn't about the person. It was what the person could do for me. And it was on this trip where I was there with my sister and I saw other couples on the trip. And I really just, I mean, I've seen this before while traveling, and it never really dawned on me until that moment. And it made me feel like I wanted that. I wanted someone who I can go on vacation with, who I can go home with, someone that I can see forever with, right? Because of what I was seeing, because that was what was around us. There were a bunch of couples, some married people. We spoke with a lot of people there, and they were married or engaged or, in these relationships where they did a lot of things together. And I found a lot of beauty in that. So that was like the first indication in my own mind, like, I want this. I appreciate that. Like, I had a great time being there with my sister, but I really valued relationship at that moment when I saw these couples and them enjoying their time together. Now, I've been on trips and vacations with men, but they weren't necessarily guys I saw forever with, they weren't guys I was serious about. Like, I just wasn't that much of a serious person. But in that moment, I really thought about it because I turned 30 and I was like, what do I want to do in this next decade of my life? What experiences do I want to experience? And I wanted to experience true commitment, true relationship, marriage, children. That was what I wanted. And when I was being honest with myself, because at that point I got tired of like the life that I was living. I was no longer like going out and clubbing. I really spent my time like for entertainment, going to restaurants or traveling and just like, doing things that I would normally do in my life. And that's what I really found value in. And I just wanted someone who I was serious about, that I can see a future with, to experience life with. And I knew that was something that I wanted in that moment. And I say all of that to say is because I think a lot of women are in the position that I was before, that we say that we want something, but we truly don't act or really even know 100% that we want that thing. Because I do believe in manifestation. I do believe in law of attraction. And as much as I claimed that I wanted to get married and I wanted children, it wasn't until that moment that I actually really wanted it. It was all just like, that's gonna happen. But in that moment, it was like, no, I really want that. Like, that's what I want. And once I came into that consciousness of really wanting that, that's how I was able to attract it into my life. Now, it didn't happen immediately. I did date like other people before meeting my partner, but as soon as I like noticed within like the first or second date that they weren't the type of guy that I wanted to settle down and have children with, I cut things off. Like, I was no longer going to say, well, I don't want to settle down with you, but I'm going to use you for X, Y, and Z. I was no longer doing that. I was very clear that no, in this part of my life, I'm going to get married, so I have to quickly eliminate the guys who don't fit that so I can get closer to the guy I'm to marry. And that is how I got there. And I wanted to say that because I really feel like we say that we want something, but in reality, we don't. You may be dating someone who doesn't even want marriage, right? You may be dating someone who doesn't even want children. And that's things that you actually want. And we stay in these relationships thinking, well, they'll either change their mind or, I have time, I want to get married, instead of quickly eliminating them and getting closer to the person that is going to give you that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, do you even want it? I didn't want it. I could say and lie that I wanted it, but at that time I didn't want it. Nothing in my life supported that that's what I wanted in my life. So whether that was going out, hanging out with people who, I really didn't have any real interest in, but wanted to hang out with them because they were going to like take me, my girls out, and just doing things like that was cool in my 20s when it was all fun and games. But in my 30s, I knew I didn't want that. So I knew I didn't want to keep up with that. And I really hope you ladies can kind of like think about that, because in this modern dating, there's a bunch of people who say they want relationships, who say they want marriage, whose life and their choices in life don't support that. So what I mean by that, say like if a woman says, I want to be married to a provider and I want to be a stay-at-home mom, I want to just focus on homemaking and doing that type of thing. But your real life is, all about work and climbing the corporate ladder and, being this boss babe, which nothing is wrong with that. You can still do that while you're searching for your partner and then, transition later. But when you have that mindset of like working and being a boss and stuff like that, you're actually in a different energy than someone who is actually wanting someone to provide and take care for them and be that provider for them, because you're holding up the energy of you are the provider. And a lot of people may say, well, you should be what you want to attract, but that's not necessarily true. You need to be the type of person who would attract that person. You don't have to be that person, right? You don't have to be that provider to attract a provider. I definitely was not like a provider, but I attract many providers into my life. And that was because I was in a sense that I want to, be taken care of in this way. And I still had a business and I still had things going on. But when I was in the energy of my true manifesting, even with money, that, I was going to be this boss babe, I was manifesting that I was going to be provided for by the universe, by God, by just like people that was going to be sent to my life, more clients, all of that was going to be provided for me. So the same thing with men, I thought of it like they were going to come in, they were going to provide for me, and that's what I received. So I feel like putting yourself in the energy that you truly want to be is a key to actually manifesting what you want. So I want to say like another example is that, like me, some people claim that they want a relationship, but then they go and get in relationships with guys who don't even want that. They don't want a marriage. They don't want children. They just are here for a good time. And they tend to derail you. I feel like these type of guys come right before you're about to meet your person, right? Just like as a trick from the universe to say like, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want this? Okay, well, let me sprinkle in this person. And this is what I call, as you ladies know, the Prince Charming. So Prince Charming will show up. And like I said, he's gonna tick all the boxes for like certain materialistic things that you want. But the straight giveaway is the values, what he wants in life, what he sees his future as. And women will ignore that and just go with the guy because he's providing like this lifestyle that you want, but he's not actually going to give you the real lifestyle that you want. He probably is a cheater, but you're like, well, he's hooking up with other women, but he's giving me all this, and women will settle for this. And I've seen this so many times, and that's where we get caught up, ladies, especially in modern dating, because there's a bunch of guys like that. There's so many guys like that who will, try to buy you to stay, right? They will try to keep you here through gifts. And I've been in that relationship. I've been in that type of situation. And I did stay. I wasted years. I was in that type of relationship for about 3 years. And it was a complete waste, but I learned an important thing, that those things that he was giving me to keep me there didn't matter. They did not matter, because the truth of it is that he didn't want marriage. And I did, so when I got to the point where I realized, this is what I want marriage, I want children, I immediately cut ties with every single person that I was dating, that was in my rotational dating. I cut ties with every last one of them because none of them I saw a future with. None of them I thought of as my future husband. So I figured if none of them are even close to the guy that I would want to marry, then why am I dealing with them? So in cutting them off, I now opened up space for other people to come in and for me to see them with this new vision, with this new eye. And something that me and my sister always joke around and say, we love watching like Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, like the making of the team. And one thing, if you ever seen the show, the girls go through weeks and they could get eliminated each week until it's the final time and they pick the team and then you're on the team for the season. So we love this show, and I love the concept of like, these girls are basically auditioning the whole time until they actually make the team. And I just put that same concept in my dating, that every person that was coming into my life had to want to be there, had to want to be on the team, be on my team, get married, be in that same energy. And then they would have to, like, you know, perform and show up until they made it on the team. Now, that strategy really helped me because I was no longer scared to cut people off. I didn't care if, you know, I thought this person was one type of way, but in reality they were, you know, not the right guy. I just cut them off. I didn't waste any time because I was like, it doesn't matter which one of you become that person, because I'm choosing like, great guys, you're all like, you know, financially stable, you're all, you know, like me, want to pursue me, all want the same things. So I'm not choosing from a bad bunch of men, but now I have specific criteria that I need you to match up with, and I need you to show up in that. And so when I did that, and once I met my partner, he just ticked all the boxes and he went full steam ahead, and I was like, you made the team. You made the team. Like, it was just a no-brainer when I met him, but it was because I knew how to eliminate the people before. So I hope that makes sense for you ladies, and you understand what I'm saying about like knowing exactly what you want and eliminating the things that you don't want, the men you do not want, the Prince Charmings. Remember, you do not want to build a future or an idea in your mind with this Prince Charming. You want a king. You want a guy in his king energy, that real committed, I'm here for the long run, I'm here to make the sacrifices, I'm responsible. That type of guy is the guy you want to marry. So I really do hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm saying or if you connect with it. Thank you ladies so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and family. I know so many women who may just be in this crossroads that I was in before I met my partner, and knowing this and stepping into that energy of, I know what I want now, so let me go out and get it, really helped me accomplish what I accomplished in less than a year. So ladies, if you do want to have a one-on-one goddess check-in, I love these check-ins. They're just really fun to do, especially if you really don't have someone that you can really go to and just get some sound advice, unbiased advice, and really just want someone to connect with what's going on in your life. I would love to be that person for you and help you out with that. I am having a great time doing that. Thank you so much for your support for the people who've already done it. We're making great progress already, and I'm excited to hear from you all. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.